Hey guys, so I'm in Waldo in this Santa Fe Hills neighborhood. And I don't know if it's a curse or what, but I'm seeing everything with completely new eyes. Just looking at these things. What do we got here? Of course, a couple more of these. Another beauty right there. These people living here probably think I'm insane, but I don't care. Check this one out. And I'm gonna zoom you in real good here. There's this ancient wall just hiding over here. Just something I thought was interesting. And then this right here looking kind of suspect to me. But I guess the point of this little video is or question rather, how many times has this place been rebuilt? What do you guys think? Let me know. Thanks. Hey guys, just having some lunch here, doing a little look into this Santa Fe Hills neighborhood. Thought I'd share my findings with you. The Santa Fe Hills neighborhood in Kansas City, Missouri evolved from the historic Indian Village, a planned community by E.J. Sweeney, and was renamed Santa Fe Hills in 1938 to honor the Santa Fe Trail that crossed the area. The neighborhood's history is tied to the Santa Fe Trail, which was used by pioneers and became a national road after 1848. Indian Village featured themed architecture, a private club format, and a lake, but these were eliminated by new developers. So, the land was settled by this Boone family pre-Civil War. And then in the 1840s, this Dabney Lipscomb, heck of a name, settled the area and founded New Santa Fe, the last stop for pioneers heading west. And in the 1860s, the Santa Fe Trail was rerouted by farmers to protect their crops, creating the zigzag pattern seen today. And as we read previously, it was changed from Indian Village to Santa Fe Hills. E.J. Sweeney's planned Indian Village community had its club format private roads and unique architectural features removed by new developers. and that was 1935 to 1938. And then in 1938, they renamed it Santa Fe Hills as a tribute to the nearby Santa Fe Trail. The street names, however, remained the same. And yada 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 up to present date. And I also found this was at the top of the search results here. KC 1940, Kansas City Public Library, Digital History. I might have to look into this page a little bit, or website a little bit more, actually. But this is just information on this neighborhood. Let's see. Something about a barn at 8702 Rainbow Lane here that was built in the 1840s. And this is that Boone family that was referred to previously. And then, well, we run into Mr. William Rockhill Nelson, who built the two-story addition and broad porch sometime in the 1880s. 26 West Portachimney Pass. I'm going to have to look into that as well. There's some interesting little history pieces in this little neighborhood over here. But here's some tax assessment stuff, of course, you know. There's a few pictures of houses on here. But a lot of these, I don't know if these are supposed to be lots or what. Or they just haven't updated this photo thing at this time. All of those, I don't know if you can see it, they say vacant, all the blank ones. Then we got a few maps of the area. Which are very interesting. There's also a school around this area. It looks heavily modified. I'm not sure if there is any old world left to it, but we might look at it at some point. But just some interesting little tidbits I wanted to share with you since I was a little bit distracted as I was driving through this area by some of the things that looked like ruins to me. And then so much for the short video, but I wanted to drop you in here on this alleged built 1840s home that was occupied by Nathan Boone and then purchased from him by William Rockhill Nelson. And at that time, he did some renovations in the 1880s to this home. We're going to take a look at what it's looking like today. So I guess Mr. Nelson did a lot of this porch work you're looking at here, or addition. chimney stone looking very familiar. Obviously, some updated siding. And it's on a nice big corner lot. So this is going to be kind of a mishmash of random segments here as I keep running into interesting stuff. But I'm here on this Martin City and South KC telegraph. And as you know, the Santa Fe Hills used to be known as Indian Village. There's a few interesting renderings and photographs on here. Here's a rendering of what the front main entrance used to look like. And we might find some more interesting information in here as well, such as what was the owner of the Indian Village, however that happens. I don't know, but this Mr. Sweeney here apparently owned a auto, tractor, and aviation school across from the Union Station. Circa 1920, the building still stands. So that might actually be in my Liberty Memorial video, that building, possibly the facaded one we saw with the brick back. Anyways, interesting. Indian Village and its country club. And I'm just gonna do a quick scan on this. This wasn't your typical subdivision. It was built to be a thriving, self-sufficient community in the country. At the main entrance for motor cars at 85th and Warnell, Sweeney built a large Dutch mill that housed a real estate office. The choice of a Dutch mill may seem strange, but Sweeney insisted it made sense because the Dutch first established trading posts with Native Americans. Also at the entrance, he placed a 100-foot tower with tubular chimes that sounded every 15 minutes to alert residents of the time. That is mind-blowing right there. And then we get down to this house that was sold by Nathan Boone to William Rockhill Nelson. And here is of course, tax assessment photograph from the 1920s. And also they give a little mention. What is this? I think this is the barn that they were referring to. This says 1940 tax photo. Where did the... Oh, okay. So, my apologies. These are both photos from 1940s is what they are saying. So this house, okay, this makes sense now because this is the biggest house in this neighborhood and sits on this massive corner lot. So this was the clubhouse in this neighborhood in the 1920s. Check this out. An open air theater near current day 85th and Sleepy Hollow repurposed the Boone's Pond. Ah, incredible. So this is all the stuff that they demolished to make way for what you were looking at as I was driving through there. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Anyways, I don't know. Shoot, what do we got going on here? I guess they're not going to show us the rest of these images now. How convenient. Hmm. Unreal. Alright, I had to back out and reopen the page so we could look at some more renderings here. And I think this thing actually still exists as well because there's this weird looking structure in there. The 2-bedroom love nest was built across from the clubhouse and was later the home of E.J. Sweeney. And this here was what they refer to as the demonstration house, which was furnished by the Jones store. And they recorded advertisements here of a happy couple in the search for their new home. On we go. We got some financial bust here, of course. Mr. Sweeney is not holding his obligations in high regard. And then the change to Santa Fe Hills. And then the subdivision was annexed by Kansas City in 1958. And honestly, this home isn't really looking all that different today than it was. What's this? Let me get back up here. Right here, other than, and this was 1940. The porch was screened in. They hadn't put in the door to nowhere yet in the front there. I don't know if you noticed that. But I mean, other than some roofing and some siding and a few other things, windows, obviously, it's really not that different. But anyways, I thought that that was interesting. I've still got videos planned on trying to put some information together on the cemeteries that we looked at the other day. So try to get to work on those as soon as I can. And I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.